In Hockeytown North, an Eastern Conference clash is set to take center stage. The Green Movement is back in Prince Albert, and the Raiders are a team with high expectations under the guidance of a new voice on the bench. Hot on their heels are the Kootenay Ice, hoping life on the road can help move them up the Eastern Conference standings. It's the Ice and Raiders, next on Shaw. This young man, when he comes into a hockey rink these days, Sam Reinhart, the projected first overall pick in the 2014 NHL Draft, has 11 points in his last 9 games, 34 to lead Kootenay this season, 5th most in the WHL. And right with him, among those top prospects, is Prince Albert's Leon Draisaitl, who's been on the move of late with 9 points in his last 6 games, and Reed Gardner, the 11th or 8th overall pick in the 2011 Bantam Draft, 20 points this season, matching his total from a season ago. Good evening and welcome to Levin Machinery WHL on Shaw. I'm Andy Neal. Well, 2 potential top 5 picks in the 2014 NHL Draft are on center stage here this evening in PA, and no doubt for pro scouts, they are the center of attention. Kootenay Ice pivot Sam Reinhart, yesterday in International Scouting Services, was ranked number 1 in their top 30 for November, and he is projected to be, right now, the favorite to go number 1 in Philadelphia in June. And right behind him, Leon Draisaitl of the Prince Albert Raiders, he was ranked 7th. Now, there is a big hockey game here this evening, and no doubt in such a tight Eastern Conference right now, a win can move a team up a couple of spots. Prince Albert's coming off the 4-1 win Tuesday over the Saskatoon Blades. Edmonton, though, got a win over the Moose Jaw Warriors last night, so Edmonton actually with 27 points on the season. Meanwhile, for the Kootenay Ice, they became the latest victim of the Swift Current Broncos, who have won 9 in a row, and Swift Current and Medicine Hat with a little bit of a cushion right now atop the Eastern Conference. But Kootenay, along with Calgary and Regina, just a couple of points back of the Prince Albert Raiders going into tonight. It's the second meeting of the year between the Raiders and the Ice, and to set you up a little further, here are Peter Labardius and Jeff Odgers with the call. Guys?
Andy, thank you kindly as always. Had an opportunity to watch Sam Reinhart in Calgary on Monday. He's the type of player who can control the pace of a game. He's so intelligent. Jeff, you can't start the year any better. He began the season with 8 multi-point games. Maybe he has dipped a little bit, but when he plays, he gets a lot of attention, correct?
Well, we've seen that game in Calgary, and they were pretty much unstoppable as a line. And Sam Reinhart, a lot of times those guys will have the luxury of having guys ahead of them that they can take some of the pressure off. Not so much for Sam Reinhart. Going into his draft year, he is the guy. Team's game plans coming in, you shut down Sam Reinhart, you shut down the Kootenay Ice, and what's he done? He's second in the league in assists. He's made his line mates better. He's kept his team in a playoff race. Sam Reinhart has done an amazing job for the Kootenay Ice, especially with all the pressure of a draft year.
And one youngster who has really benefited is Jaden Deschanel. But remember, this was a 30-goal, 78-point player, and the 18-year-old from Leduc maybe doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Well, he doesn't, but if you watch Deschanel and the goals he scores, they're usually within 5-10 feet of the crease. He knows where to go. He goes to those tough areas. Talking to Ryan Miguel today about this, he's maybe too unselfish. He could have 5 or 6 more goals if he shot some more, because he's got such a great shot. But he's a guy that shoots very well, to play the smart player like Sam Reinhart. Watch for him tonight.
The Prince Albert Raiders, under the guidance of their new head coach, who used to coach at one time in Kootenay, is Corey Clouston. And we talked about him already. Andy did. Leon Draisaitl. I'm so impressed every time I watch this big forward out of Germany. This guy is a very talented player.
Well, we've had him on this before in Shaw, and he's had some big games. And he's a big man. He protects the puck very well, and he has a heavy, heavy shot. He's a guy that's hard to control. You have to have your best team against him all the time, or he will make you look very foolish. Leon Draisaitl is one of those guys that can be a difference maker for an NHL team in the draft.
And that breakaway move might have displayed it as well as anything he can do. On the blue line for the Raiders, no question. Their captain, their leader, first-round pick of the Winnipeg Jets in the 2013 draft, Josh Morrissey. You want to talk about a treat and a great puck-moving mobile defenseman.
Well, anytime you're building a team, building a franchise, you want to start with the goal. What do you want next? Defense. You want a defenseman that can skate the puck, can move the puck, play in all situations, defense, offense. Josh Morrissey never seems to get tired, and he is so dynamic on the power play. Great shot. Josh Morrissey has done it all for the Prince Albert Raiders.
And don't be surprised if this young man doesn't represent his country at the upcoming World Junior. Andy, this is your hometown, and when we're here, it's a big night for you, and the games usually don't disappoint.
No, absolutely. It's been pretty close between these two teams. You're talking about Josh Morrissey. Prince Albert's power play so much better this year compared to what it was last year, last in the WHL, but right now the man advantage operating in the top 10 for the Raiders going in. But they've lost 4 in a row to the Kootenay Ice going into this evening, including the 2-0 setback back on October 13th in Cranbrook. Mackenzie Skapski, who's still out right now with a lower body injury, 30 saves on that night for his lone shutout of the season. It was Nick McBride in goal that evening for the Prince Albert Raiders, who made 30 saves. He is a draft pick from 2012 for the Prince Albert Raiders. Well, the Raiders and Ice getting set for their second of the year here at Art Hauser Center on Levitt Machinery, WHL on Shaw.
Welcome back to the Art Hauser Center in Prince Albert, meeting number 2 of the year between the Raiders and Kootenay. Tonight's starting goaltenders are brought to you by Jack Links. Feed your wild side. For the visiting Kootenay Ice, they go with the 18-year-old from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Wyatt Hoffland. And for the Raiders, the former Kamloops Blazer, a 20-year-old from Calgary, Cole Cheveldave, who sports a record of 9-6-2. Jeff, when these teams collided back on October 13th, a 2-0 victory in Cranbrook for the Ice in a game where there were no goals scored until the third, and the last one went into an empty net. Landon Cross to Jaden Deschanel. It's the top lines of both teams start the game against one another. Sawyer Lang intercepted by Reinhardt. Here's Deschanel, an early chance. Reinhardt to the front of the net. Lang battles his man. The other member of that line is Levi Cable, and turned over to Dakota Conroy. Conroy with Chance Braid. Conroy to his own dump in, and Cable takes over in his own territory, but he's surrounded. Draisaitl between his legs to Conroy now. Back to Draisaitl. Draisaitl, so strong, still with it. Finds Mackenzie Johnson, loose in front. Hoffland a couple of dynamite saves. Braid a chance on the short side. And Wyatt Hoffland into the game very quickly.
Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw is brought to you by Levitt Machinery, online at levittmachinery.com.
You know, and a quick example right there, both teams. Deschanel in the slot gets a shot off from the pass from Reinhardt, and Leon Draisaitl protecting the puck, creating a chance down in the Prince Albert.
Draisaitl entering the night with 29 points. Landon Peel tipped in deep by Tim Bozon on a line with Luke Phillip and Austin Vetero. Bozon, his wrist shot as Cheveldave has dislodged the net off its moorings. Bozon, a back-to-back 36-goal scorer in Kamloops, came over in a big acquisition earlier this season.
Well, something they're definitely looking for. Corey Clouston here, head coach of the Prince Albert Raiders. They need goaltending. It's something that's been lacking here in Prince Albert the last couple of seasons. They felt they needed. Cole Cheveldave brought in for that purpose alone to help this team get over that hump.
Corey Clouston going up against a guy that he used to coach with in Ryan McGill back in the early 2000s.
Should be no secrets.
No siree. Troy Murray, first-round pick of the Ice in 2012, has his pass intercepted. Bozon tracks back and slides it in deep. Mackenzie Johnston started the year in Kelowna, and the 20-year-old defenseman takes a look. Anderlich, his pass deflected at center right to Hoffland, and he'll steer it for Bozon. Bozon, the third-round pick of the Montreal Canadiens, to Vetero off his stick. And Gennaro is stripped of the puck in the neutral zone by Ryan Chenault, the son of longtime general manager Jeff Chenault. Jonathan Martin, he'll knife it in deep. Chenault bumps his man on the end boards, and back comes Kim Vanstone. Vanstone with Gennaro. Gennaro wrist shot, and an excellent save once again by Hoffman to rob the young 16-year-old Gennaro.
The speed of Tim Vanstone coming down the wing created that chance for Gennaro, who got a great shot off.
Renat Valiev, the Russian. Martin runs in but knocks down Morrissey at the line, and Morrissey looks to be a little shaken, favoring his left arm. And that would be horrendous news, not only for the Raiders, but potentially for Team Canada.
John Martin seen Morrissey coming and dropped the shoulder as Morrissey was the one making the hit.
Cheveldae ought to play it. Chance Braid. Braid with good speed enters the zone, but Shane Daniluk a little impatient on the offside.
Bartender Gennaro with a great shot, breaking down the wing. Tim Vanstone, great speed, great little dish pass. And Gennaro, quick release, right off the shoulder.
Gennaro, one of 3 members of the Prince Albert Raiders who will represent Team Pacific in the World Under-17 Challenge just after Christmas. That to be staged this year in Atlantic Canada and Cape Breton.
Such a great opportunity for kids like Gennaro to go back at Christmas time, play with their peer group. A lot of times they'll come back with tons of confidence.
Thomas Anderlich, and icing will be the call. The other 2 Raiders who will do so. Brendan Gooley will take part in that tournament as well.
Always good to see where you're at with your own age group. Playing in the Western Hockey League, at that age you're playing against 19, 20-year-olds. A lot of times it's easy to lose some confidence, drop down, and get back to your own age group and say, you know what, I'm right there. I'm right where I should be for my age.
Troy Murray will suit up with Team West at that event. Slid right through the goal crease. Anderlich has it bounce off his stick, and here's Luke Phillip with Bozon just onside at the line. Phillip on the cycle for Bozon. He's bumped by Gardner, and Jaden Hart, the former Tiger, finds Gardner. Gardner into the zone, but he forgot to take the puck with him. And here's Bozon in transition with Federal. Bozon dips his shot, and Cheveldae just enough to keep it out. Bozon has a terrific release. Phillip protects it on the boards to Murray. No trouble to steer it aside that time for Cheveldae. Good start to the opening 4 minutes here in Prince Albert. Delighted to have you with us on the Western Hockey League on Shaw. Steenbergen runs into Gardner, carrying on his Draisaitl. Draisaitl trying to drive to the net against Peel. Still with it. Into the slot, intercepted neatly by Zach Zabrowski. Murray to Peel. The outlet to Zabrowski, and he'll backhand it to the Raider line.
The youngster Landon Peel doing a real good job in that one-on-one with Leon Draisaitl. Gonna need that to happen all night on defense for Kootenay.
Dakota Conroy, his wrist shot blockered and gave Hoffman some trouble that time. Draisaitl fighting for possession. Braid the backhander. Another chance. Draisaitl pokes at it. It's still loose in front. The Raiders with a number of quality opportunities early. They can't beat Hoffman. Draisaitl protects it once more to Conroy. Johnson moved up in front. And finally, Valiev settles things down, but he can't clear it. Bounces it off the skate of Draisaitl. Jeff Kubik now trying to chip it out, but he ran into Chance Braid. And Matthew Alfaro. Kubik. He fans on an attempt. Puck still remains in Kootenay territory. Perreault, Gennaro! He's stopped from in tight for the second time.
Gennaro with 2 opportunities from the same spot in the slot. I don't think he want to give him a third.
Vanstone, nifty pass to Carson Perreault. His quick drive. And Hoffman making save after save in this opening frame.
And the Prince Albert Raiders go through 2 complete line changes, able to keep pressure on the Kootenay Ice.
Reinhardt to Levi Cable. Cable with speed. Reinhardt and Deschanel join him. Wrist shot off the blocker of Cheveldae. Vanstone, he'll slide it in, and the Raiders will make another change. 8-3, the early shots on goal in favor of the home side. Reinhardt to Landon Cross. Chipped in by Deschanel. Zaharchuk pressured Lang on the boards to Daniluk. Perfect chip between his legs. And the puck makes its way out to center ice. Cable. He'll clear it in. And now Ryan McGill and Kootenay makes changes. Shane Daniluk from Salmon Arm, British Columbia. Stepping up in the neutral zone is Peel. And he'll clear it in. Cheveldae plays it on the boards. Chenault to John Martin. Martin scored a goal in a win in Calgary on Monday. His pass off the back of the net. And Zaharchuk content to send it out. Murray, the younger brother of Brian Murray of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Chenault from a sharp angle. Martin had a chance. Peel a shot. That one goes wide of the target. Chenault working diligently. Jaden Hart breaks it up. Martin loose in front. Big kick save that time from close range. As Bozon moved in for the rebound chance. Reed Gardner with Winther and Jaden Hart. Fanning on his shot that time is Gardner. Long stretch without a stoppage here. Brendan Gooley. Jaden Hart a wrister from the high slide, and that missed the target. Vetterl slides it towards Luke Phillip. He's contained. Winther. And Valiev to Phillip and out to center ice. The Raiders have their skating legs in the first. And finally, a stoppage.
Wow, what a flurry event. Both teams taking turns. Prince Albert dominating most of the play. 2 shifts in a row, but Kootenay coming right back with a great opportunity right out in front. Pass and a great save there by Cole Cheveldae to keep this game scoreless.
Bozon didn't get all of it since coming over in the deal. Bozon has chipped in with only 1 goal. Cable. Good stick check by Sawyer Lang. He's from right here in Prince Albert, product of that great AAA Prince Albert Minto program.
Sawyer Lang turned into a defenseman. You can play in any situation, power play, penalty kill matchup against the other team's top line. Very valuable addition.
Draisaitl back out, and he's been a force early. As once again, Corey Clouston with last change heads that line on against the Reinhardt trio. And back-to-back icing calls against the Ice. Good to see Josh Morrissey come out. He was shaken up a little bit earlier in this period on a collision involving Jonathan Martin.
Oh, John Martin, seen him coming down the wall. Josh Morrissey does the right thing to step up. But as you say, very fortunate for the Prince Albert Raiders. Josh Morrissey's okay.
Morrissey with 22 points in his first 20 games, including a 9-game point scoring streak. Has 7 points in his last 6. Winther, a second-round pick of the Dallas Stars. Reinhardt, an outlet to Peel for Cable. Rink wide to Vetterl. His shot, that one surprised Cheveldae up high a little bit, but the veteran goaltender made the stop. Winther darts into the zone, his wrister turned aside by the blocker of Hoffman. Hart, another former Medicine Hat Tiger who came over in a big deal last season, along with Busenius. He's tripped up on the play, and a glove pass, the reason for the stoppage, is Vetterl into it with Jaden Hart.
Ryan McGill on the Kootenay Ice. We talked about a great game in Calgary. Went to Swift Current, had a 3-0 loss. Ryan McGill not happy with the team's preparation, the way they played. They definitely came out here against a team, the Prince Albert Raiders, that are ready to compete, ready to skate. One thing about a Kootenay Ice team with Ryan McGill, everybody's going to play. They're going to roll their 4 lines, they're going to roll their 6 defense, and they're going to put you to the test. Hopefully in the 3rd period, the way they're thinking, they're going to wear you down, have a little extra jump left.
The reigning Western Hockey League Coach of the Year, Ryan McGill, led the Kootenay Ice in his first tenure of duty to a league title and Memorial Cup victory back in 2002. All this team does every year is make the playoffs 14 times in a row.
You know, and that tradition, you know, and there'll be years where probably most teams think you shouldn't make the playoffs, but that experience and that veteran leadership, having all the guys been there the year before, will carry them through into the next season.
All about culture. Thomas Anderlich from the Czech Republic. Jagger Dirk. The cable with Reinhart. 34 points on the season. Reinhart, his wrister deflected off the stick of Morrissey wide. Valiev chops it and he finds Cable. Cable with room, his shot, and Cheveldae stayed right with him. Anderlich, outlet to Conroy with Draisaitl again. That powerful skating stride cut off by Peel, who's done a nice job against him early. Deschanel accepts. Jaden Deschanel, a wrister. 16-year-old Hudson Elenick. And yes, his father was a great member of the Prince Albert Raiders and former NHLer Pat Elenick.
Actually seen his dad in the lobby tonight in attendance. He watched the game along with his older brother.
Chenault now. One-on-one with Morrissey, who knocks him to the ice. Morrissey turns it over. Chenault, a quality chance. And the goaltending at both ends has been excellent. It's the reason we still look for goal number 1 here in Prince Albert. You're watching Levitt Machinery, the Western Hockey League on Shaw.
Thomas, along with head coach of the Prince Albert Raiders, Corey Clouston. The fans are loving this back and forth game. Are you loving it as a coach, though?
Well, I thought we got up to a real good start. We had a couple of chances. You know, we easily could have a goal or two. The last few shifts, we've created some turnovers, and you know, they've capitalized on a couple of our mistakes, and we just got to make sure that we're getting pucks in deep. You know, they're an explosive team, so to me, it's all about puck management, and when we have it, we can't turn it over. They're too good of a transition team.
Corey, obviously there's a lot of matchups in a game like this one tonight, and really watching this, you can see the game of chess that is on the ice. Does that make it a lot of fun, especially with a guy that you've coached with before across the ice here? Does that make it fun as a coach?
Yeah, you're both trying to do, you know, get your matchups, see what you want, but, you know, it's a matter of it doesn't matter who you're out there, you still got to play hard and play right.
Coach, thanks for this. Yeah. Head coach Corey Clouston of the Prince Albert Raiders. Let's send it back upstairs to Peter and Jeff.
Corey Clouston, never shy on preparation, focus, and intensity.
No, a Corey Clouston coach team will never go into a game underprepared. They're not knowing what to expect.
No chance. And both these former teammates and coaching mates have their teams charged up. Brendan Gooley reverses neatly to Zaharchuk. Daniluk with Gage Quinney. Alfaro, he'll slide it in. Busenius back. Chenault there one more time. He's had a very strong start, Ryan Chenault. Out there with Alfaro and Martin now. Martin keeps it alive. Intercepted by Daniluk in tight quarters is Busenius, and Hubik back to track it in his own end. To Renat Valiev, played in the USHL last year in Indiana.
Bit of a different path to the Western Hockey League.
Yes, Russia to Indiana to Kootenay, and the first penalty of the game upcoming, and it's going to Kootenay's Jaden Deschanel.
We've talked about both these teams and their special teams at the start of the game. Very, very effective. Get a chance here to see Josh Morrissey anchor the Prince Albert Raiders power play. He put big Leon Draisaitl up front.
Power play is brought to you by Days Inn. Days Inn has 34 hotels throughout Western Canada. Visit daysinn.ca. The Raiders operating at 23.6% on the power play. Draisaitl with Lang, Morrissey, Conroy and Braid moving in as Lang, but it jumped over his stick. Pressured by Chenault. Here's Morrissey. Chance Braid. Stripped by Jagger Dirk, and Dirk high off the glass and down the ice.
Chance Braid trying to make that move out of the corner. Big body like Chance Braid. Get him in front of that, setting up the screen. Let Draisaitl and Morrissey work the puck around.
The Ice second best in the league on the road, killing penalties at over 87%. They continue to battle. Cable protects it, ragging some valuable time off the penalty clock. And Cable to the loose puck, and he'll skate it out. Finds Reinhart. Reinhart, a rolling puck. Cheveldae wanted to play it, and Reinhart did not allow it to happen.
Reinhart, a guy you're going to play in all situations. Your power play, penalty kill, teamed up with Levi Cable. Levi Cable, good play coming in, finding Reinhart going to the net. Bit of a rolling puck, putting it on play. But Sam Reinhart, so smart in all areas of the ice.
Sees the game, I think, about 2 steps ahead of most. So intelligent. That hockey IQ is off the charts. Comes by it pretty honestly. Quite a family. Winther to Reed Gardner. Busenius. Back to Gardner. Jaden Hart broken up by Peel. Hart with excellent retrieval. Busenius in his skates. Fans moving it deep, or attempting to. Vetero will clear it backhanded out to center.
Mackenzie Johnson with the puck right now has come over. Now playing in the second unit. Great addition for the Prince Albert Raiders, playing in all situations as well for PA.
Reinhart intercepts quickly, finds Cable again. Cable skating well, had half a step, and Busenius recovered nicely. Reinhart pasted into the end boards by Johnston. And the Ice continue to kill penalties well on the season, and in particular away from home. Overall, 84% total for Ryan McGill's team.
Sam Reinhart, Levi Cable, short break, right back out there in the penalty kill. Here we'll see some of the work down low, protecting the puck. Always aware, keeping the puck, running the time off the clock. Those kind of players make Ryan McGill and a coach so smart.
Deflected shot from cross off with Carson Perreault. Nearly found the far side of the net. Gennaro to Perreault from Brandon, Manitoba. Luke Phillip. Phillip drops it off for Vetero. Austin Vetero to Tim Bozon. Bozon pestered and stolen by Vanstone, and here's Perreault wheeling. Perreault a stutter step on cross. Vanstone, and he's knocked off the puck by Valiev. Phillip carries on. Luke Phillip. Ouch, that took a bite out of Thomas Anderlich, who blocked it. Bozon drops it. Martin, a quick drive. And kicking out the pad was Cheveldae. 9-9, now the shots on goal here late in the first. Conroy has to step on Jagger Dirk, and Hoffman playing in place of the injured Mackenzie Skapski with another save. Pace quickens again here in the first. After it is Gage Quinney. His father, Ken, was a dynamite player back in the day with the old Calgary Wranglers.
I remember those days.
Yes, I knew you would.
Hopping over those big boards. Oh my.
At the corral.
Yeah, had to be 6'7" just to get your leg over those things.
Ken Quinney was a fine forward in this league. And another Kootenay penalty upcoming, this one to another player with bloodlines, Hudson Elenick.
And this is a tough break for the youngster, Hudson Elenick, coming around the net, goes to put the puck to the stick, gets his stick caught in the skates, takes down Prince Albert Raider. The Raiders will get another chance in the power play. Here we'll get a look at it. One hand. Tough one.
Those ones don't make coaches very happy when they come 195 feet from your net. See if the Raiders can take advantage. They had some chances on their first, unable to convert, and Reinhart the opening and sends it down the ice. Yes, his father Paul was a pretty amazing player.
Man, could he skate.
And think the game. And a fascinating, I enjoy chatting with Paul every chance I get. Fascinating to talk to. Son Sam for Cable in behind Lang, and Morrissey there to help out his partner in the nick of time.
Levi Cable with some great jump, 5-on-5, had a couple good scoring opportunities, and just dominant on the PK.
He is flying in this opening period. From Hudson Bay is Levi Cable.
Seeing his mom in the crowd, you know he's got some family watching.
Dirk battling with Jaden Hart. And Morrissey and Busenius will have to give chase as this Raider power play, having trouble getting set up. So much, Jeff, about the breakouts and entries to get power plays started.
And for the Prince Albert Raiders, when you lose the puck, you gotta want it back.
Hard a shot, big rebound, Gardner fanned on it. Johnston to Morrissey. Make that Busenius. Mackenzie Johnston. Reed Gardner down low to Jaden Hart. Returns the favor. Gardner to Jaden Hart. Johnston tipped in front. Gardner got free between the two defenders at the side of the net, but redirected it wide. Bozon trying to win a battle. Does so and clears it out.
Now the one goal scoring chance for the Prince Albert Raiders, but other than that, the Kootenay Ice, as you mentioned, winning all the battles short-handed.
Busenius misses Gardner this time. Gennaro with speed into the fray. And Jagger Dirk, the veteran defenseman, they'll flip it out, and that'll do it for the Raider power play. Here's Alfaro, his wrister. And Cheveldae once again in good position. Cheveldae coming off an amazing year last year in Kamloops, and the 20-year-old hasn't quite found that same groove so far here in Prince Albert, but he's got that look about him tonight.
Well, and the thing about it is you know it's there for him. You know he's proved he can do it, and it's just a matter of time before I believe Cole Cheveldae fits into that same groove he was in last season in Kamloops.
Too good not to. Brendan Gooley up the middle for Vanstone. Vanstone with half a step, his wrist shot on target. And back comes Chenauth with Martin. This has been an excellent line for Ryan McGill in this first period. Chenauth, Martin, and Alfaro. Chenauth backhands it, takes a bump from Sawyer Lang. Gooley into the corner. Martin jumps on a loose puck and then loses the handle. Zaharachuk with Quinney. Gage Quinney finds Morrissey this time. Morrissey wrist shot with traffic as Zaharachuk got a piece of it. Zaharachuk, he's upended by Hubik as we're into the last minute of this entertaining opening period in Prince Albert. Draisaitl tried to feed it in front for Morrissey, but the ice clog up the slot area, and Jeff Hubik sends it down the ice.
With a Kootenay Ice so strong defensively, Leon Draisaitl, the most offensive, dangerous threat for the Prince Albert Raiders. Kootenay doing a nice job, taking away his time and space, not allowing him to get to the net. Give him that time outside, try and thread the pass through. Leon Draisaitl most effectively one-on-one when he loses the guys, puck protecting and heading to the net. And Kootenay Ice doing a nice job of keeping him to the outside so far.
Played for Germany at last year's World Junior Championship. 6 points during that event. 58 points in his rookie season with the Raiders. And an early timeout taken in the game after that icing call.
And to me, this just goes to show you how important they think each goal is in this game. When you use your timeout here in the last minute of the first period, if your group was tired out there, that just shows that you respect the other team's ability to keep you scoring.
It sure does. And it would stay with how game number one went, which was a 2-0 Kootenay victory in a game that did not produce a goal until the third period. And unlike tonight, that game did not produce a single penalty.
No.
Or as Ryan McGill said, not one that was called.
I love a coach's spin on it. You gotta love him from the outside.
He's funny.
But you know what, Peter? I don't think anybody would have thought both these teams would struggle as much as they had to score goals. I think both teams are picked to be a lot higher scoring than they've produced so far.
Morrissey's wrister hits Conroy. And Reinhart with a smart outlet to Bozon. Bozon back with Deschanel and Reinhart. They were so effective in a win in Calgary on Monday, but did not start the game together tonight. Reinhart bothered by Dakota Conroy. Bozon can't get free of Sawyer Lang, and here comes Draisaitl with Morrissey joining the rush. Morrissey deflects it just wide. Had to deflect that waist high. Conroy with one last crack, but Reinhart blocked it. Pretty good opening 20 minutes here at the Art Hauser Center.
You can't ask for anything more than that. I think coming in, especially off the bus for the Kootenay Ice, to have the first period like that, very impressive. The Prince Albert Raiders did everything but score.
Andy Neal, I know you were impressed with what you saw as well.
Yeah, it's pretty fast down here at ice level, Peter and Jeff. Coming up in the first intermission, we will hear from Raiders captain Josh Morrissey, and we'll talk with Raiders general manager Bruno Campesi and the Raiders' odd couple in goal, Cole Sheveldave and Nick McBride. Drew Wilson, the play-by-play voice of the Raiders, has a story on those two coming up after one period of play from the Art Hauser Center in Prince Albert. 13-11 the shots for the Raiders, but scoreless through one on 11 Machinery, WHL on Shaw.
Back in Prince Albert, scoreless opening period, joined by the captain of the PA Raiders, Josh Morrissey. And first of all, that was an up and down period. That pretty much suits your game, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we had some good chances, got a lot of shots. We came out pretty hard, drew a few penalties, so I think it's a period we can build on.
Now, obviously, you had a number of goals coming into the season. You wanted to show well at Winnipeg Jets camp. You did that. You obviously want to get to the World Junior Hockey Championships, and the next step in that is being named to the Super Series team, which you've done. What does it mean to you?
Well, it's definitely an honor. I mean, it's just, I guess, another step in the process, but it's definitely an honor. There's a lot of good players on that list, and some I've watched a lot as a kid growing up, so it'll be fun to get a chance to play in it.
All right, the other step, post cereals. You're on the box of Shreddies. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's pretty cool. It's my dad's favorite cereal growing up, so I guess that's kind of neat. But no, it's pretty cool. I mean, just looking at it, who wouldn't want to be, I guess, on the cover of a cereal box? So it's a pretty big honor, and it's pretty cool too.
There you go. It's available coast to coast. Josh, thanks for this, and all the best the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Josh Morrissey, as we'll go over to WHL Central, just to my left, and Andy Neal. Andy, take it away.
All right, thanks very much, Dave, and to Josh as well. Please be joined with Raiders general manager Bruno Campesi. And Josh is off to such a great start this season. What have you seen from his game, Bruno, this year compared to the last couple? And what's maybe been the biggest step for him in his third year?
Well, I think just maturity level. Last year was a real important year for him, obviously, with the draft and going through a whole bunch of different things in his life. And then I think, just coming back from his NHL camp and getting his contract out of the way, he's come back. He's just a real mature player. And, he's really brought that maturity, and I think that NHL experience that he had at camp back into our dressing room. It's been a real good thing for us.
Well, let's talk about tonight's game. A quick pace from down here at ice level. What did you see from where you're seated high above?
Yeah, same thing. I thought it was a real good period. I mean, you've got two teams that are very similar to each other in the way they want to play. I mean, Corey Clouston, him and Ryan McGill were partners in Kootenay, and so they know each other inside out. And I think you're seeing two very similar styles of play, and I thought it was, for the most part, pretty entertaining.
Mentioned Corey Clouston, brought him in the offseason to be your head coach. What was the big, at the MasterCard Memorial Cup, we heard all kinds of names that could be going to Prince Albert. What was it about Corey that made you decide on him as your guy?
Well, there was two things. One, there was his track record in the Western Hockey League. Obviously with Kootenay, he had a whole great deal of success. He's won at this level. And then his pro experience, we were looking to acquire somebody with some pro experience that had dealt at that level, and him being in the American League and with Ottawa in the National Hockey League just seemed the right fit for us.
What's the biggest thing that you may have seen in the team's play because of what he's brought?
Well, he's very detailed oriented, and he makes sure that the guys are really held accountable for each and every detail on the ice, and that doesn't matter whether it's 5-on-5 power play or special teams as a whole. And he's just been a guy that has brought his sense of the game to it, and it's very, as you can tell tonight, you're seeing two teams that are playing extremely well on both sides of the puck.
You're mentioning special teams. Last year, it just seemed unbelievable that the Raiders were ranked last on the power play, but now in the top 10. What's been the biggest change? Is it just execution, or what is it that's made the power play better this year for your team?
Well, you wouldn't know tonight. I mean, we've had 2 opportunities. I think we've had 1 shot on net, but I mean, for the most part, our power play, the execution has been good. We've kept it fairly simple. We've worked it basically out of a side, and we've gotten pucks to the net, and we've had a real good net front presence. Braid's been good there. Whoever we've had in that situation at the net's been really good for us. So I just think it's a matter of execution and basically just keeping it really simple with pucks to the net.
Cole Sheveldave, the 20-year-old goaltender, brought in from Kamloops. Jake Kriske, who was your 13th overall pick, had to go the other way. So how tough was that to have to give him up, but what have you gained with Cole in net?
Well, it was a tough transaction, but one of the things that when you come into the season is that we didn't have the experience coming into the season. And not only that, we knew that we had some very good young goaltenders in our system. Nick McBride at 16, Rylan Toronto at 17. We knew one of those 2 guys was going to make the team. So not only was it about securing the future for this year, but it was really looking past it and making sure that we had a mentor to really try and help whoever was here. In the case, it was Nick McBride, won the job at a training camp. He's been excellent. Cole's been outstanding with him. So there was just more to it than just solidifying our goaltending just for this year. It was really looking into the future. Goaltending is really the backbone of your team, and we feel fortunate that we're going to be, I think, fairly secure here for a couple of years. Obviously with McBride, and then a kid like Rylan Toronto in our system as well.
Yeah. 3-game homestand wraps up on Wednesday with a big clash with Swift Current, and they're obviously on the move right now with 9 consecutive wins. How big is that this early in the season with them right now in the lead in the East Division?
Well, Swift Current's just been on a just torrid race. I mean, they've won 9 straight. We've played them a couple times just in the last little while, and we've played well against them. It just have had no success. So really, I think that game, obviously tonight's extremely important. It's our only game of the weekend. But as soon as this game's over, we'll be turning our attention to Wednesday night against Swift Current. We want to try and stay within striking distance of that division. They are. We were ahead. They kind of leapfrogged us a little bit here, but we're still within striking distance. We have a couple games in hand, and it's going to be really important for us to make sure that we take care of our games head-to-head, especially at home.
We're a couple of months away from the trade deadline. Is there anything that you'd like to improve, or what are the biggest issues that you'd like to maybe bring in for your team going forward towards the playoffs?
Well, you're always looking at trying to improve your team. I think that's what one of your jobs is, to make sure that you're trying to actively seeking for what areas that you can improve on. I mean, obviously, if we could acquire another experienced defenseman, if we could acquire another a forward, potentially to play in our top 6 would be fantastic. It's easier said than done. As well as I do, Kootenay paid a heavy price for Tim Bozon and Cross, that transaction with Kamloops. And so, the prices, if you look at last year, they were expensive, and it seems that this year it's no change. It's going to be expensive, and so we'll just kind of see where we're at. No rush, doing lots of homework. The deadline, like you say, is a couple months away, so we'll actively, be out making sure that we know what we're looking at come the end of December, early January.
Good luck with that. Good luck tonight, and thanks so much for doing this, Bruno.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bruno Campassi, General Manager of the Prince Albert Raiders. His team in a tight one tonight with the Kootenay Ice scoreless through 1 at the Art Hauser Center on Levin Machinery, WHL on Shaw.
Awesome. All right, great. Yeah, thanks.
Well, inside the Art Hauser Center, where the Prince Albert Raiders and the Kootenay Ice are scoreless through 1 period of play back at Levin Machinery, WHL on Shaw. Well, certainly the Raiders goaltenders could be known as the odd couple, Cole Sheveldave and Nick McBride, the veteran in Sheveldave, the youngster in McBride. And one thing that they certainly have in common is the fact that they both want to win. And Raiders play-by-play voice Drew Wilson gives us more.
The Raiders have a pair of very diverse goaltenders this season. Overager Cole Sheveldave was acquired in an off-season trade with the Kamloops Blazers. Part of the deal included the Raiders' first-round draft choice, Jake Kriske. Sheveldave has been inconsistent, but is starting to get his game together. And he says he didn't really worry about the tough times.
Playing every night, like it's just a new game, I guess, and not letting things bother you, just let things go. It's the biggest thing, just shot after shot, and you're not thinking about a past goal or a past save and just worrying about the next one.
16-year-old rookie Nick McBride was the first player selected in the second round of his Bantam draft and has proven to be a very good pick. In 2 starts, he's given up just 1 goal against in each of those games and says his confidence is building.
Like Corey said, my practices were my games till that point, and I just had to practice hard and prove that I can play at this level.
Goaltending coach Kelly Gard says when it comes to Cheveldave, it's a matter of fine-tuning his game.
Well, with him, you don't really change much. He's kind of in his groove, and you know, with me being here every day, it's a good chance to give immediate feedback watching every game, and you know, he picks up things very quick.
Gard says McBride already has some excellent basic skills, and he's learning the game at the WHL level.
He's good. He's been coming along really well. His strength, his quickness is picking up. With him too, it's a real simple game he plays. He blocks pucks, and that's kind of the way I played myself, so I really like to work with that.
And despite the diversity in age, size, and styles, the 2 netminders get along very well together.
He's played lots of games. He's definitely a veteran, helps me out in practice, and he's very calming in the dressing room in games, and I like that.
I love it. He's pushing me in practice. Like, obviously, you can tell I'm sweating right now, and I'm pushing him, helping him move along in his game, and we're just good for each other, and we're bouncing off each other like that.
The 3rd member of the Raiders' goaltending equation has turned his season around. After being cut following training camp, Rylan Paranto has a save percentage of over .925 and a goals against average of under 3 with the SJHL's Weyburn Red Wings. As a result, he's earned a tryout for Team West, who will compete at the World Junior A Challenge.
All right, many thanks, Drew. There are 8 other games going on in the Western Hockey League this evening. They're just getting underway in Brandon between the Wheat Kings and the Saskatoon Blades. So we'll keep you up to speed on those games happening tonight around the Western Hockey League. Where are we going here, Tim? Okay, we won't have the scoreboard for you. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with more. We've got Peter and Jeff on the other side of the break. Second period on the way next from the Art Hauser Center in Prince Albert on 11 Machinery, WHL on Shaw. Well, back in Prince Albert, the BMO CHL NHL 2013 Subway Super Series is coming your way from Red Deer and Lethbridge. Tickets are on sale if you go to the website, www.whl.ca, or if you go to the team websites as well. And RE/MAX is excited to offer fans a chance to win a group of 10 tickets to an upcoming game. To enter, visit WHL.ca and click on the RE/MAX Home Team Contest button. RE/MAX, official realtors of the WHL. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Peter and Jeff, second period's all yours, guys.
Jeff, no goals in that first period, but not from a lack of scoring chances.
No, one of the most entertaining periods you'll find, but there was no goals scored. Both teams going to do exactly what they want to do. Mateo Gennaro with a great shot right down the middle. Tim Bozon with a shot right across. Pulls across. Kim Cheveldave there to make the save. Take another look at this one, staying right with it. Driving to the net. Good battles in the corner. Big chance. Braid, he comes out from the corner on the backhand. Hoffman, he stands his ground. Good corner work. Good battles coming. As you can see, staying nice and square to the shooter. And Kootenay Levi Cable, maybe one of the best players on the ice, with a chance to walk out from the corner. The kid with some good skill, and Cole Cheveldave not flinching off the post, not giving him a lot to shoot at. Goaltending excellent. Here's some real good work by the captain, Sam Reinhardt, on the penalty kills. Just a good all-round solid period. Both teams had. Both coaches got to be happy. You can build off that any day.
13-11, the shots on goal in that opening period in favor of the Raiders. Sam Reinhardt, the captain, and his team shut out by the red-hot Swift Current Broncos. They're on quite a roll. Mark Lamb's team shut out Kootenay on Wednesday 3-0. The Raiders last outing a 4-1 win Tuesday over their rival, the Saskatoon Blades. Draisaitl line again starts versus the Reinhardt line. That was the matchup in the first, and continues. Reinhardt, quick wrist shot on net. Reinhardt with 9 goals and 25 assists. Jagger Dirk, a member of the 2011 Kootenay Ice Western Hockey League championship team, as was Sam Reinhart, his 15-year-old. And has the puck now. Shot blocked by Sawyer Lang. Reinhart intercepted in Morrissey. Finds Mike Winter to Reed Gardner. Heading to the net is Draisaitl, broken up by Peel. And that's the matchup defensively that Ryan McGill has wanted. Peel had a very good first period.
Something to build up. Good tougher period with a longer change. Going against his speed, not be able to get his change as quick as he can. We'll see how that plays out.
Bozon battling Mackenzie Johnston. They're no strangers. Ex-Kamloops and Kelowna players. Jaden Hart, wrist shot, stopped by Hoffman. Luke Phillip can't quite get to it to send it out of the zone. Here's Mike Winter, has only played in 11 games due to injury and a suspension. And I really feel like he's a big key to this Raider fortune this season.
No, and had a goal last game, and need to got to get this mojo going. Find a way to get going because the Raiders could use him in his offensive output.
A 32 goal getter, not last year, but in his draft year. Carson Perreault with good speed as he was upended in the neutral zone. And the Raiders bench yelling for a penalty. They've enjoyed the only 2 power plays in this game. Zabrowski, former Regina Pat Canadian star. Busenius back. Shields him from the puck. Vanstone, Zabrowski on top of him. Hubick now. His shot blocked. Martin keeps it alive on target. Stopped by Shoveldave. Martin from his knees steered it wide.
Real good patience by Schmelz at the side of the net. I thought he was going to be able to sweep that in, but great patience in the crease.
Vanstone with a step on Hubick. Valiev comes over. Vanstone just missed Gennaro, and Gennaro with 2 good chances in the first period, and the youngster with 3 goals in his last 2 games for the Raiders.
And you can tell he's feeling his oats. He's shooting to score.
Morrissey. Off the stick of Gage Quinney. Quinney played last year in the North American Hockey League in Las Vegas.
Interesting place to get to.
Interesting place, period. Only been once. Here's Alfaro, Matthew Alfaro, backhander. Steenbergen had a great chance. So good that the goal judge put the light on. But Steenbergen missed the net. Jagger Dirk deflected by Zaharachuk. Out of play.
Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw has been brought to you by Levitt Machinery. Online at levittmachinery.com.
Jordan Steenbergen in his 11th Western Hockey League game, looking for his first goal. Won't get a much better chance than this.
No, dust it off, put on a platter, thank you. Oh my goodness. He'll be taking a bit of ribbing from the guys in that one.
But remember, he's a defenseman. Playing up front is Peel with lots of traffic. Stopped by Shoveldave. Murray shot off Deschanel to the corner. The ice buzzing now. Troy Murray, that snapshot didn't miss by much. Deschanel with Cable and Reinhart. Levi Cable on the cycle. Draisaitl and Reinhart, the 2 highly touted prospects. Cable, a quick shot. And good stick from Sawyer Lang, who cut it off quickly.
No, a real good cycle shift. And when Deschanel and Reinhart and Cable are going like this, you know you're going to give up some chances. You just don't want to be point blank. And the Prince Albert Raiders doing a nice job, stick position, body position. And Corey Clouston's going to say, good job, guys.
Luke Phillip with Bozon and Federal against Hart, Gardner, and Reed Gardner. Andy Neal mentioned it off the top. He's just in his 2nd year out of Humboldt. Already, Jeff, with 20 points, matching his total of last season.
And there's some guys that take that jump instantly their 2nd year, they get the year under their belt. Reed Gardner is one of those guys.
First round Bantam draft of the Raiders a couple of years ago was Reed Gardner. In 2011, he was the 8th overall pick. Luke Phillips, blocked by Jaden Hart. Landon Cross down low for Vetero. Philp relays it. Bozon trying to gain position in front. Here's Valiev. He fans on it. And Mackenzie Johnson spins away from pressure. Thomas Anderlich can't clear the zone. Now to Winther, and the Raiders with numbers. Hart, good feed. Wrist shot by Winther. And Hoffman in good position to stop the product of Trochu, Alberta, Mike Winther.
We'll take a look at Dave Manson, former first-round pick himself. And when you talk about PA Raider hockey and the guys that have come out of here and the talent and the guys that went on to be core guys in the NHL, it's pretty impressive when you're looking at the list here of what this town has produced for NHL caliber hockey players.
Chris Phillips was the first overall pick, let alone first round pick. McCammond. That Medano guy, he wasn't bad either.
Spent a few nights chasing him around the ice, hoping to catch him.
You weren't alone. Remember my first viewing of Mike Medano at then what was the Agrodome in Regina when he broke into the league? One rush from one end to the other. I went, yeah, this guy's pretty good.
Anybody could be a scout picking up guys like that.
Yeah, I could have figured that one out. Dakota Conroy runs into Levi Cable, and checked up by Sawyer Lang. Conroy, 56 points last season. His shot going wide, but Hoffman reaches out with a glove and hangs on.
Take a look at Wyatt Hoffman, who's made the saves he's had to tonight so far in this second period. His team, the Kootenay Ice, has spent most of the time in the Prince Albert Raiders' end. But in the first period, came up big. Prince Albert had 2 power plays, a couple of good opportunities, shut the door.
Wyatt Hoffman making the most of the injury to Mackenzie Skapski. A pretty impressive .922 save percentage for the second-year goaltender out of Spruce Grove.
You don't get .922 by being lucky.
No, you do not. Zabrowski and Busenius tangle up with one another, and Gennaro stripped by Ryan Chenault. Busenius in tight quarters. Chenault protecting it against Gennaro. Busenius steals, and Vanstone sends Carson Perreault in on left wing. Cross takes away his time and space. Vanstone in front, a chance for Gennaro again, but it went off the heel of his stick wide. Jonathan Martin through the slot area towards Zabrowski. Zach Zabrowski. Vanstone to Perreault, end of a lengthy shift. Vanstone, wrist shot, glove save by Hoffman.
And the Prince Albert Raiders coming back with a couple of great chances on defensive breakdowns, end of a shift, tired. And Mateo Gennaro, that's his third great opportunity tonight, all from the same spot, getting into the slot. The young kid, but he knows where to present himself to get those scoring opportunities.
Second round pick in the 2012 Bantam Draft, Mateo Gennaro.
What a great hockey name.
I would guess there's some Italian in his family. Anderlich, he's a good player. Talking about Gennaro. Pretty good second round pick. Bozon shoots it in. Anderlich back, taps it to Gage Quinney. And he'll shovel it to the neutral zone. Troy Murray, 10th overall pick in his draft year, the same one, 2012.
And he's been steady tonight. Very solid for the youngster.
Ryan McGill told me on Monday might be the smartest young defenseman he's coached at 16 since the guy named Steve McCarthy. And Steve McCarthy was a great Western League defenseman. Conroy, Chance Braid, he scores! Chance Braid's first of the year, and the Raiders strike first.
The Prince Albert Raiders needed to get a few guys scoring. Coming in the game, Mike Winther, Chance Braid. They needed more offense. Chance Braid answers the bell here in the second period. Big body playing on this line, going to the net. Leon Draisaitl makes this happen with a pass across. Conroy, little dish. Chance Braid playing the right wing. His left-handed shot comes out perfectly positioned. Shoot that just inside the far post.
Chance Braid scored 9 times last season and had 29 points. That's his first of 2013-2014, and you know that the young man from Chauvin, Alberta feels like he just lifted a gorilla off his back. And a penalty away from the puck. An elbowing call. And this one's going to go to the Raiders. And they'll find themselves shorthanded for the first time in the game as the gentleman who just scored the goal.
Getting his name announced in the arena back-to-back. Not the way he wanted it done the second time. We'll take a look at the penalty. Comes in. Arms up a little high.
This power play brought to you by Days Inn Hotels. Rates and availability are at daysin.ca. Kootenay's first power play chance, looking to equalize the Chance Braid goal. Conroy and Draisaitl with the assists. The Ice 24.1% on the year with a man advantage. Jagger Dirk, forced back at center. Phillip, Reinhardt, Bozon, Deschanel, the power play alignment. Deschanel second in the league in power play goals. He has 9 of them. Sends it back off his knee and winning another battle. And I know, Jeff, you've been impressed with Mackenzie Johnston.
Makes all the right plays, good stick.
Bozon, slap shot, and maybe getting a piece of it again was Johnston with that long reach.
No, never too far out of position. If he is such a long, lanky range, he can get himself back in a hurry. Here, we'll take a look. Head up, shot, good stick by Johnston coming across.
Tim Bozon, 91 points in Kamloops last year, 13 so far this year. They'd love him to heat up. Reinhardt through the seam, good stick by Morrissey to break it up.
And if you look, he has the players around him to repeat that kind of scoring production. It's not like he's on a team that doesn't have the skill for a lot of them to do it.
Deschanel to Sam Reinhardt on the Kootenay power play. Bozon in front, and this time the goaltender Cheveldave helped himself by breaking up the cross crease pass attempt. The Raiders have killed penalties at 81.4%. Gardner will keep it alive. Battling Valiev for position. Cable there to help out in the corner. Excellent work by Reed Gardner. Just 10 seconds to go in the man advantage. Valiev finds the trailing Cable. He'll cut to the middle and dished off, but right between the two defensemen.
I don't think Peel was expecting that pass to come back to Cable.
So the Ice 0 for 1 on the power play. No icing here, it's Johnston. He fans. Puck makes its way to Thomas Anderlich. Anderlich up the middle for Zaharchuk. And Troy Murray collects it. Nifty reverse, Zabrowski. Murray to Alfaro. Blocked at the line. Alfaro with a great setup and a near miss by Steenbergen earlier in the period. And Quinney clears it right to Wyatt Hoffland. 1-0 Raiders on Chance Braid's first of the year here in the second. Gennaro again, wrist shot right into the crest of goaltender Wyatt Hoffland. The Raiders looking to even the season series. Chances are one head to go in for this guy.
Back in Prince Albert with Kootenay head coach Ryan McGill, and a broken stick and neutral ice has almost been the difference in this hockey game between two evenly matched teams. What have you seen from your team thus far?
Well, the first 5 minutes of this period, I thought we had a territorial advantage, but we haven't really been a smart team, so we're going to have to make sure that we're playing with some intelligence here the last 10 minutes.
Now, your team at times has been snake-bitten this season around the net. How important, though, is it to preach patience so that they don't try to exert themselves and you wind up in odd-man situations?
Not really 100% sure what you said, but I think it had something to do with patience. Right now, we don't need to have patience. We need to have urgency.
Coach, thanks so much for this.
You're welcome.
Head coach Ryan McGill. Guys, let's go back upstairs to you.
Brian McGill's men have not scored in their last 2 games, shutout on Wednesday and shutout to this point, although they've had some good chances around the Raider net.
You know, and they talk about it, they've been good in flashes. It's been, stretches 2-3 minutes that have had pressure, and then Chris Albert will take over the game. And that's what every coach you talk to, they preach consistency in the Western Hockey League. It's the same thing in the National Hockey League where you are there, Peter. Every coach is looking for the same thing, and you're expecting it out of kids these age when they're trying to get out of a grown man also.
And in your time the last couple of years coaching a very good midget AAA team, that's even another level.
And we expect it at every level.
Yes.
Can't quite find it. When you figure it out, usually win a Stanley Cup.
Backhand try again by Gennaro. Doesn't look like a first-year player tonight and in many nights this season. Matteo Gennaro with 9 points coming into the game. Stag Chili, proud to be the official chili of the Western Hockey League and founder of the Saves for Success program, which contributes $1 for every save made in the Western Hockey League through the season. With a contribution of $15,000 for minor hockey, go to stagchili.ca to learn how your team can qualify. Makes me hungry thinking about it. And a great cause as well. Bernat Valia to Landon Peel. Just out of the reach of Jaden Deschanel, who's back out with Reinhardt, and now Bozon with those two. Looking for some chemistry and an equalizer. Draisaitl. How about that move? To Sawyer Lang. Lang shot. Steered aside. Chance Braid. First to it. Josh Morrissey. Stutter step. Morrissey still walking the line. Morrissey handles. And he has it stolen from him by Bozon. Tim Bozon. Valiev will clear it in. Reinhardt, his back pass. Deschanel fans, and Lang is there. And Lang right on the tape of Jaden Hart with Reed Gardner. Gardner in the slot. And Valiev uses his stick effectively.
Well, Reed Gardner doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Create some time there on a 2-1. Comes all the way over, gets the drop pass for the shot on net. That time it was tipped, but Reed Gardner does a lot of the things right all the time. He plays hard defensive zone, offensive zone. He's hard to play against. He's hard on pucks. Reed Gardner is one of those guys, great first year, and even better start to his second year.
5 points for Reed Gardner in his last 6 games. The 8th overall pick in the 2011 Western Hockey League Bantam Draft. Remains out with Winther and Jaden Hart past Anderlich, a race for it. And Anderlich beats Vetterl to the puck. Anderlich in his first season out of the Czech Republic. He's 18. Jaden Hart puts on the brakes, blocked by Jagger Dirk. Bumping along the boards, Hart a hard shot. And Landon Cross sends Luke Phillip away, and Phillip said hello in a hurry to Mackenzie Johnston. As Johnston had a beat on the much smaller Luke Phillip.
Take a look at Jagger Dirk, one of the veterans on this defenseman. A team, a guy that knows what it's all about. He knows what Ryan McGill preaches. One of the guys that's going to be a leader. Plays a lot of tough minutes for this team. And a guy that they really look to, especially in a team like this where you're not going to score a lot of goals. You need your defense solid, not giving up any. Jagger Dirk, that's his job.
More bloodlines. His father, Robert Dirk, was a not very fun defenseman to play against in his time with the Regina Pats back in the day, in the early 80s.
Was not a lot of fun to play against the Vancouver Canucks either, I might add. Solid stay-at-home defenseman, knew his role.
Well, both teams are out of timeouts. This time, Corey Clouston, and further to the point you made when Ryan McGill took one, goals not easy to come by this year when these two teams play.
You think you were in, late February jockeying for a playoff position, but we're in November. and this is how concerned you are over, a team having tired guys on the ice with that one goal turning a game.
Second meeting of the year. The first took place between these two October 13th in Cranbrook. And the Ice won it 2-0. Down by one here. And they have their top line out again. Morrissey and Lang out every single time that Reinhardt and company are out. And they've done a fabulous job defending so far with the help of the Draisaitl line. Sawyer Lang right on the stick of the goal getter. Braid, long shot, no trouble for Hoffman. Conroy, who drew an assist, as did Draisaitl on the Braid goal. Dakota Conroy, third stop in the league, the 19-year-old from Edmonton. He scored a goal on Tuesday in the win over Saskatoon, so he has points in back-to-back games and now has 6 points in his last 7 outings.
I really compliments playing with Leon Draisaitl pretty well in that first goal. A little tic-tac-toe over to the big man, Chance Braid.
Busenius blocked by Steenbergen. Matthew Alfaro. Hudson Elena deflected off a couple of bodies wide. Steenbergen. Busenius. Nice take by Zaharchuk. Zaharchuk into the zone, working on Peel, puts on the break. Slides it into the corner. To Busenius now. His shot blocked in front. And Steenbergen plays it to the open wing for Hudson Elenick. Elenick just turned 16 in October. Tied up by Gage Quinney. Gennaro in a hot pursuit. Elenick has it jump off his stick, and once again the Ice will have to regroup deep in their own territory. Off the stick of Bozon and chopped into the zone. Anderlich pressured by Bozon. Gennaro deep in his own territory. For Van Stone and now Carson Perreault. Not the same type of flow to period 2 that we saw in an up and down period 1.
Now we talked about a period that you could build on. I think it was a period that both teams made adjustments to. That's causing the pace to slow down a little tighter checking, not as many scoring chances.
Here's Dave Thomas. David?
Well, guys, the thing that they're talking about on the two benches right now, especially to my left and Ryan McGill and the Kootenay Ice, they're trying to figure a way to get out of their zone. The PA Raiders doing a great job of taking up the lanes, and if you watch Coach McGill, he's got the whiteboard out almost after every shift, trying to figure out a way to get pucks and bodies through different lanes on his bench in his defensive zone. So it's a game of chess down here, and both tacticians are having a lot of fun, you can tell.
Yes, they know one another very well. Coached together in the early 2000s in Cranbrook with the Kootenay Ice. Jagger Dirk to Luke Philp with Levi Cable. Cable darts in through the screen. And Cheveldave down low to make the stop. Back comes Jaden Hart with Winther and Gardner. Winther battling for possession with Murray. And the youngster won another battle. He's done that all night. Number 2 of the Kootenay Ice. Gardner chopped away by Valia. Brendan Gooley. Just onside at the lines. Zabrowski, a low wrister. And gloved and held by Cheveldae.
One of the few almost odd man rushes we've seen this period, but few and far between. Take a look at Carson Perreault there. The Raider bench getting their breath. Mike Winter, one of the guys we're relying on to pick up his scoring production. As you mentioned, scored last game, only 2 goals on the season. He's a guy in that line with Hart and Gardner who can be a very effective line in this league.
Second line scoring so important if you want to be an elite level team. Jonathan Martin. Puck actually went into the net under it as it came up.
And Cole Cheveldae, one of the reasons why the Kootenay Ice scrambling to try and find a way to score goals. Starting to play this game here with a little bit of that swagger, carrying over from last year's success in Kamloops. Trying to work that goals against down to that 2.38 he had last year with Kamloops.
Big reason that Kamloops played for the Western Conference title, losing out to the league champion Portland Winterhawks.
No, and especially in the East with everything so tight and every win so hard to come by. Cole Cheveldae, you want to go with this been there, had that experience, can put a team in his back. He's going to have to pull out a few games where where it just comes down as 1-1 late in the third period. You need that big save to go back the other way and score. Cole Cheveldae has the experience and the confidence of his teammates.
High hopes once again here in Prince Albert. Great start to last season, tailed off down the stretch and were swept in the first round by the Red Deer Rebels. Chenault, Jonathan Martin, quick shot, stopped, but still loose is Zabrowski with another opportunity. And an upcoming penalty is going to go to the Raiders. Thomas Anderlich down his way to the penalty box.
Well, a real good shift here by Kootenay Ice's fourth line. Zach Zabrowski, the rookie, played in Regina Pack Canadians last year. Lots of speed, lots of skill, creating all kinds of havoc, creating a power play opportunity.
Zabrowski with 52 points in 42 games for the Pack Canadians. Former coach of the Yorkton Harvest, I don't need to remind you of that now, do I?
No, I spent lots of time trying to figure out how to stop young Zabrowski, I'll tell you that much. Plus a 5-game playoff series.
Yes, sorry for bringing that up. I really don't like to do that.
Yeah, I can tell.
What a series that was. What a series that was. Several players in the game tonight, graduates of the Saskatchewan Midget AAA League. Kootenay with a power play. Jagger Dirk. Dirk from a sharp angle, and Cheveldae wasn't sure, but he kept it out.
Well, I think everybody, including myself, thought Jagger Dirk was passing that to the slot. Elected to take the shot from a tough angle and just about squeezed by Cheveldae. Cheveldae doing a real nice job of hanging on to the post. He moves off that just a couple inches. That puck is in the net.
Jagger Dirk vying for his third goal of the season and nearly tied this game. With a puck again is Dirk. To Reinhardt. Blocked by Busenius. Bozon. Philp, the other trigger man on the point. Bozon takes over. He can really shoot it. Philp thinks about it. He will shoot it. Bozon. He scores! Tim Bozon on the power play. Ties it at 1.
Well, a bit of a broken play on the power play. Philp with a good position. Great stick coming across. We'll see here on the replay. Bit of a deflected shot. Tim Bozon going to those areas where you need to go to score goals, right to the crease area off to the side. Unfortunately for him, comes right to him.
5th of the year for two-time 36-goal getter Tim Bozon on the power play, his second goal as a member of the Kootenay Ice since coming in an October 22nd blockbuster type trade from Kamloops. And we're even.
And the Kootenay Ice management, coaches, players hoping that's the start of things to come. Tim Bozon to get back to form.
Levi Cable knocked the stick out of Brendan Gooley's hands, and slashing will be the call. So after tying the game on the power play goal by Bozon, now the Ice find themselves short-handed for the third time in the contest.
And that's one of those plays, Peter, it seems every time the stick gets slashed out of the hands, an automatic penalty. And I'm not sure if it should be, especially in that place. You're 180 feet away from the goal, but it is what it is.
Yes, it is. I would say that I'm completely on the same page.
Whatever that is.
Oh, I know what page that is. Braid, who has the Raider goal. Draisaitl. Morrissey. Dishes off to Draisaitl. Into the slot. Conroy, the low shot. Lang moves up. Draisaitl. Backhand pass and a good one to Dakota Conroy. Leon Draisaitl. Saucer pass to Morrissey. Wrist shot, scores! And looked like it hit something on the way in.
And just by the reaction of the rest of the Prince Albert Raiders players, I think that's Josh Morrissey's goal. I think it hit one of the Kootenay players standing in front. Just by the reaction, we'll get a look at here and see. Another look here.
Almost looked like it went off Chance Braid.
If anybody, it was Braid. They're showing it as Josh Morrissey's goal to see if they change it.
Morrissey's 9th goal of the year if it stays that way. And the Raiders regain a 1-goal lead. Zabrowski, backhand. Martin drives the net. Jonathan Martin. Ryan Schnauf in front. Zabrowski to Landon Peel. Trying to use the end boards to make a pass. Martin working hard again. Reed Gardner settles it down to the puck, jumps away from Mackenzie Johnston. And the one touch, Johnson to Hart and then out. Murray clears it in. Cheveldave to handle it. And well. Draisaitl in the skates of Mike Winther. Winther across the line and off the stick of Jagger Dirk and out of play.
We get a chance to take a look at that last goal scored by the Prince Albert Raiders. Josh Morrissey walking the line, takes a shot. And if Chance Braid did get a piece of this, he's the reason why this goal goes in. Big body going exactly where he's supposed to in the power play. First period, we've seen him standing off to the corner. Second period, he's right in front of the net, causing all kinds of havoc. Big reason why the Raiders are up 2-1.
Draisaitl with his second point. And Conroy has his second point of the game as the buzzer goes to bring an end to the second period. And the Raiders and Ice trade shorthanded goals in the back half after Chance Braid snapped the goose egg for both teams earlier in the period.
On a great rebound by the Prince Albert Raiders, capitalizing on a late penalty to get a chance. Neither team really giving up a whole bunch in that period. Prince Albert Raiders taking advantage of their chances.
Here's Andy Neal.
All right, Peter, coming up in the second intermission, we will hear from Kootenay Ice forward Jaden Descheno, who's got 16 goals on the year in the top 5 in the WHL. We'll hear from Jeff Schnauf, the general manager of the Kootenay Ice, and a closer look at Wyatt Hofflin in goal for the Ice. Through 2 in Prince Albert on Levitt Machinery, WHL on Shaw.
Back in Prince Albert with Kootenay Ice forward Jaden Descheno. Your team is down 2-1 after 40 minutes of play, but lots of flow in this hockey game, some end-to-end action. I guess that fits right into your style of game, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of game that I like to play, and I think it suits our team well. We can play that, but saying now we got to take care of our own zone first and make sure no turnovers, and blue lines and the neutral zones, and we should be fine.
Talking with your coach and a number of Western Hockey League observers, you've scored 49 goals in 2 years already, and you're well on your way to going ahead and getting back to that 30-goal plateau that you reached last year. But a lot of observers say the biggest thing about your game this year is playing a full 200 feet. How much have you been working on that?
It's something that Gilly's been stressing for me to get better, and my past coaches, and that's something I've had to work on throughout my hockey career, and it's something I'm trying to get better at, and I think it's starting to get there, and I got more progress to make still.
You've been named to Team WHL for the Subway Super Series. What does that mean?
It's an honor to represent WHL with such great players on this team to play Russia. It should be fun. It should be good.
Jaden, thanks so much for this. All the best tonight and the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Jaden Descheno joining us after 2 periods of play. Let's head back down to the corner and join WHL Central with Andy Neal.
All right, thanks very much, Dave. Pleased to be joined with Jeff Chanel, the general manager of the Kootenay Ice. Your thoughts through 2, Jeff? Looked like your team had really gotten some momentum, but a late goal. What'd you thought through 40?
Well, it's always a tough penalty to take, especially the first shift after tying it up. And, we've worked hard. It's been one of those games that really could have gone either way so far. But we've got our work cut out for us in the final 20 minutes, and hopefully we can regroup.
Wyatt Hoffland was a second-round draft pick of yours in 2010, and now he's had to take the ball with Mackenzie Skapski being out in goal. How do you think he's played over these last 5 games and through 2 periods today?
Very well. This has been a great experience or chance to take the reins as the number 1 guy in the absence of Mackenzie Skapski. And when we drafted Wyatt way back, we expected this at some point in his career, and I think he's done a great job. He went in a week ago Tuesday against Calgary, and he hasn't missed a beat since going. So he'll be with us probably for another week for sure. We think we might have Skapski back next weekend, but it's nice to have 2 good goaltenders.
Well, wanted to ask you obviously about Tim Bozon and Landon Cross coming over to Kootenay. Starting with Tim, that was his 2nd goal for your team in his 10th game as a member of the Ice. What do you hope that he brings to this team, and what was kind of the goal of that deal when you made it with Kamloops?
Well, first and foremost, we were offensively challenged, which we still are, surprisingly. But we felt that we had trouble scoring goals. You look how competitive the Eastern Conference was. We wanted to see if we could get someone that could score goals. And you look on the left side in the Western Hockey League, he's probably more, other than maybe 2 or 3 guys, there isn't a guy that can score like he has in the previous 2 years. So he struggled a little bit coming in to find his niche, so to speak, with our team. But maybe he got off the snide a bit last week in Calgary, and hopefully it'll continue because we think between him, Reinhardt, and Descheno, it forms a very potent line.
And Landon Cross, what about him on the blue line?
Gives us lots of depth on the back end. We were really worried about our back end coming into the season with the retirement of Tanner Muth. We picked up Landon, and we also got the release for Renat Valiev. So we really got 2 players right off the bat there, and really solidified our back end.
Well, yesterday, International Scouting Service came out with its top 30 for November, and Sam Reinhart, again, number 1. How has he handled that pressure this season, knowing that he was going to be a guy a lot of eyes were going to be on this season?
It's like water off a duck's back, to be honest. I mean, he's been groomed for this. I mean, his name's been mentioned for a long time. That's the one advantage when you play an extra year at junior. This is his 3rd year at junior, where most guys are just playing their 2nd, plus having 2 older brothers who've gone through it, plus a dad who's played in the National Hockey League. He's a pro already, and he's a special young man. Not only is he a good hockey player, but he's a special young man.
It's been a while since Kootenay has had a 1st-round draft pick. What has it meant for the organization to have a player regarded that way?
Well, you're right. It is something different. We've only had 2 in our career, and as much success as we've had on the ice, we've never really experienced that at the NHL draft table. And I think it's been a great experience for our whole organization to go into buildings and see as many scouts that don't normally maybe watch the Kootenay Ice or even come to Cranbrook. So it's been good not only for Sam, but the rest of the draft eligible players on our team.
Jaden Descheno last year had that breakout season with 78 points. What was it about his game that really took him to the next level? And 16 goals early this year, so he's off to another strong start.
I think Jaden's always scored at every level, and I think that's the key. He's a very smart player. He's very strong. For a smaller guy, he doesn't get knocked off the puck very well, has very good hockey sense, and I believe that he will get drafted this year. He won't slip through the draft 2 years in a row.
You got a couple of 1997-born players on your roster. Troy Murray, who everybody knows, the brother of Ryan Murray from White City, Saskatchewan, and also Hudson Olenek, who's got nice WHL bloodlines as well with Pat. What have they been able to show as 16-year-olds for Kootenay this year?
Well, it's always tough to step into this league and play at 16, especially when you're playing against 16 to 20-year-olds. It's a tough jump, and I think both boys have done very well. They both have had little bumps along the road, as they will, but we expect big things out of him. Hudson's a big, strong guy. He's got a late birthday. He just turned 16 in October. We expect big things from him as he matures and feels into his body over time. Troy Murray has a lot of the same attributes that his older brother Ryan has, and we think that we got two good players there, and over time they're going to be key contributors to our hockey club.
What do you make of the Eastern Conference right now? It is so tight right now. As far as who could emerge or anything like that, it seems so tight. Was that kind of the expectation for you going into this season?
Well, I think we always expect it to be tight, but maybe not this tight so quickly. And I mean, there's no easy nights, and goals are tough to come by for a lot of teams. The players, the coaching is so good in this league, and there's not many nights that you're not going to fool your opposition, and you got to work hard. You got to play hard for 60 minutes, and that's hard work gives you a chance to win more nights than not.
Jeff Chanelth, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
There he is, Jeff Chanelth, the general manager of the Kootenay Ice. His team down by 1 through 2 periods here at the Art Hauser Center in Prince Albert on Levitt Machinery. WHL on Shaw with a look inside the Ice dressing room. Chance Braid and Josh Morrissey, the goals for the Raiders. Tim Bozon in response for the Kootenay Ice. It's 2-1-4 PA through a couple here on Levitt Machinery, WHL on Shaw. Well, you heard Ice General Manager Jeff Chanelth talking high praise about Wyatt Hofflin, his 18-year-old goaltender who the Ice drafted in the second round of the 2010 Bantam Draft. And with Mackenzie Skapsy out of the lineup now, Hofflin has taken the ball, and he's certainly been more at ease now in his second season in the Western Hockey League. And Blaine Evans gives us more on Wyatt Hofflin.
To say that Wyatt Hofflin is more comfortable in his second WHL season would be a huge understatement.
I came into the season a lot more physically fit. That definitely helped. And saves are coming a lot. They're not easier, but I'm a lot more technically sound this year, putting myself in better spots to make the saves, and it's resulting in better numbers for me. But I think there's still a long way for me to go. I'd like to be a lot higher than where I am right now.
Like many young WHLers, Hofflin struggled with his new role during his first year.
Going from being the go-to guy to a backup role, you have to be patient, but at the same time you got to make sure you're putting in the work so that when your name does get called, you're ready to go and you're ready to win games.
Generally, they're coming in that they were the best players on their team the previous year, or they were good players in the leagues that they were in. And the biggest thing that we try to get these kids to acclimatize themselves to is to come in to try and understand what's going on, not to come in and try to be understood. And that's a big learning curve for these kids. And some of them adjust quickly and some of them take time.
And as a goaltender, it's also hard to get into a rhythm when you're not playing every game.
It's more of a role where you have to have one good game, and then you wait, and then you try to have another good game.
And each good game earns another game.
We still think and always have thought Wyatt is a big part of this team, and Mackenzie is here, obviously the starting goaltender, but it doesn't mean that Wyatt's not going to get his starts that he earns.
Another one of the adjustments Hofflin faced during his rookie season was playing away from home, although the Spruce Grove native wasn't without roots.
I have some family here, so it definitely made it a little easier, a little more comfortable for me. You're living away from home. It's a lot of adjusting. I think the people that are most successful in this league are the ones that adjust the fastest.
And now Wyatt Hofflin is learning from his own experience what adjustments need to be made.
If I get over anxious or under anxious, I'm not going to be the goalie I want to be. I got to stay patient, got to make myself ready, so when I do get starts, I'm going to play well. That'll get noticed and hopefully play more.
For Shaw TV in Cranbrook, I'm Blaine Evans.
All right, many thanks to Blaine Evans on that report on Wyatt Hofflin. 8 other games in the Western Hockey League tonight. Tim McGauley's got a pair, and the Brandon Wheat Kings in the second period with a 3-2 lead on the Saskatoon Blades. They knocked off the Blades 5-2 2 nights ago in the Bridge City. Scoreless in the first between Swift Current and Calgary as the Broncos are going for their 10th straight win. Dominic Volek has the difference right now with his 7th of the season. Red Deer up on Moose Jaw 2-1. They're in the first in Red Deer. Seattle and Victoria in the first of 2 in the BC Capital. The Royals won 5-3 in Seattle a week ago. Trying to make it now 3 in a row now for Victoria. Seattle's lost 5 straight. They've given up 30 goals in those 5 games. Regina Pats have won 2 of 3 south of the border on their road trip. They're playing in in Tri-City tonight. Scoreless in the first period. Also Prince George and Spokane. They're facing off in Spokane. The Chiefs lost to the Kootenay Ice on Saturday in their last game. Hunter Shinkarik, a first-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks, is in Vancouver tonight as the Tigers go for a 5th straight win in Vancouver. And the Portland Winterhawks in Everett to face off with the Silvertips. The Winterhawks have won their last 2. Everett has points in 6 straight. Well, Mitch Holmberg is back at it again. He's the Denny's WHL Player of the Week in the WHL. Big week in 3 games with 5 goals and 4 assists, and he was a +4, leading the way in the WHL with 23 goals this season and 51 points for the product of Sherwood Park, Alberta. Just a reminder, the Subway Super Series is fast approaching in Red Deer November 27th and in Lethbridge November 28th. Tickets are online on both teams' website, or you can go to www.whl.ca if you want to go to those games in southern Alberta and central. And RE/MAX is excited to offer fans a chance to win a group of 10 tickets to an upcoming game. To enter, visit whl.ca and click on the RE/MAX Home Team Contest button. RE/MAX, official realtors of the WHL. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Raiders up by 1 over the Kootenay Ice at home on 11 Machinery. WHL on Shaw.
The old Raider jersey, but a happy Raider fan as they lead the Kootenay Ice after 2 periods by a score of 2-1. Lots of chances, no one converted in the first, Jeff. Not the case in period number 2.
No, not quite as many chances, but surprisingly 4 goals in that second period. Lots of chances early, off the bat. Kootenay Ice with a couple chances. See in front of you, Ryan Schnauz with some good patience, unable to fit it by Cole Cheveldae. Really good patience here by the youngster. Cheveldae standing his ground. And then a great play here. Bit of a broken stick coming up, and Steenberger takes his pass all the way across and just pushes it by the post. That's one that he's going to definitely love to have come back. Still scoreless game. Now here we go. Broken stick, drops it, doesn't kick the puck ahead. Raiders come to the way. Draisaitl to Conroy. Nice little pass over to Chance Braid. He makes no mistake. Right off the post. Good passing. Chance Braid getting off the side. His first of the season. Then Tim Bozon starting this on the power play. Back to the point. Philp with the shot. Tim Bozon there to collect the rebound and put it in the empty cage. Real good play by Bozon, a guy that the Kootenay Ice would love to see you get going. Then Leon Draisaitl across to Morrissey. Walks across the line. Chance Braid with a screen in front. 2-1 PA Raiders after 2 periods.
2 highly touted players for the draft. 2 highly touted players for the draft, both chipping in. Braden Morrissey have the goals. Draisaitl has 2 assists. Reinhardt assisted on the goal by Bozon. It's the 3rd period, nicely underway here in Prince Albert. Austin Vetterl. Poked away from him and Gardner. Winther wasn't looking as he attempts to track it down, and Mackenzie Johnston, who's been very steady, shoots it in deep. The Ice with a record of 11-9-2 coming in. The Raiders at 12-8-2. Mike Winther. Sent ahead to Jaden Hart. Hart with Winther joining him. Steered aside by Hofflin, and the puck bounces to Sam Reinhart. Reinhart, 5th in the league in scoring, entering the eve, and is added to that total with an assist. Reinhart. And again, you see Morrissey and Lang out when the Reinhart line is up.
Now Sam Reinhart comes in the zone on 1-on-3, able to control it. Turn it into a cycle.
Sawyer Lang nearly intercepted by Deschanel. Morrissey and Deschanel in quite a tussle, and Conroy outlets for Draisaitl. To Chance Braid. Braid will chip and chase. Braid protected on the boards with Draisaitl, who has a pair of assists. And Landon Cross takes over, but slapped off his stick by Braid. Aggressive pinch by Pusenius, but his shot is blocked, and here comes Levi Cable. Shoots it in, and Kootenay makes a change.
Early in the period, Raiders up by 1 goal lead, still pressing. Defenseman strong side, pinching down, wanting to keep the offensive attack going.
Perot is going to win the race, but icing is the call.
You know, we talked about goals.
Levitt Machinery is a proud sponsor of WHL on Shaw. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
As I was saying before I got interrupted, the goal is such a premium. But you know what? It's good to see the Prince Albert Raiders still holding the line, still forcing issues. Best defense and good offense.
Well, so many teams in their system employ that strong side pinch every time they can with their strong side defenseman. You'll see more of that as this period goes along. Zabrowski, his wrist shot, cleared to the corner. He's out there with Chenault and Bozon. This is a bit of a different look for Ryan McGill. Vanstone comes away with it. Tim Vanstone, one-on-one with Landon Peel. The one-time Regina pass. And Peel possesses it and sends it ahead to Zabrowski, and he'll race off on a change. Johnston to Shane Daniluk. Daniluk confronted by Jonathan Martin. Hubik in tight quarters to Hudson Elenick, and he'll shoot it in. Matthew Alfaro poked into the slot, and Zaharchuk back in the other direction. To Daniluk now with Chance Braid. Zaharchuk tied up by Valiev. Moved it on the cycle. Daniluk trying to get free of the much larger Jonathan Martin. Martin strong on his stick and now plays it just outside the line. Not a lot of time and space for either side early here in the third.
Continuation of the start of the second period. Both teams coming out kind of back and forth. Not really wanting to open it up.
The first period completely different. It was like a racehorse game. Anderlecht. Good pivot by Hart to Gardner with Winther. Winther nearly got free. And Peel deflected it away from him.
Great stick positioning by Peel.
Sawyer Lang blocked by Peel. Now Winther. He fans on a turnaround try from a sharp angle. It's Winther off the outside of the net. Bozon has the Kootenay goal but can't clear it. Gardner snaps it wide and the puck comes all the way out to center. Sawyer Lang shoots it back in deep. Peel up the middle, Reinhardt, backhand pass, Deschanel losing his balance. Now Conroy trying to take advantage. As the youngster Murray lost an edge.
And Peel has come up twice, huge, with great defensive plays with the stick.
He's been very good in this game, number 28 of the ice. Conroy in behind Draisaitl, picked off Bozon. On the right wing side, chopped in but offside by Sam Reinhart.
And the Prince Albert Raiders, Mike Winther, desperately trying to get that third goal of the season. Here's a pass across. And Peel with a great defensive play, great stick to prevent that pass going right in the stick of Winther. Winther driving the net. That's a tap in if he gets his stick on it. Peel with great stick positioning.
Mike Winther with 9 points in his first 11 games. Tonight is 12th of the year. Mentioned earlier, a former 32 goal getter, Perreault, and broken up neatly by Dirk. Gennaro with a great first step off the end boards. Zabrowski with Federal. Upended by Mackenzie Johnson. Anderlecht backhands it on the boards. And here's Carson Perreault. Perreault has 7 goals already. He's off to a nice beginning. Hoffman plays it. Gennaro anticipates well. Landon Cross feathers it out, and it will be icing.
It almost seems every time Mateo Gennaro's on the ice, he's creating some probably 3-4 great scoring chances using his speed. Taking a look here at the Prince Albert Raiders scoring coaching staff, going over some plays with Carson Perreault. They have to be happy with the development of Mateo Perreault.
Mateo Gennaro has been an excellent player in this game, just 16 years of age. For the Raiders, Not hard to see why. He came in with 3 goals in his last 2 games and will play for Team Pacific at the upcoming World Under-17 Challenge. And if you've looked at that roster, it is loaded.
Lots of WHL talent on that roster.
Wow. Combination of players from Alberta and British Columbia. Hard to believe they won't be one of the favorites going in. Jonathan Martin hits the line, kicked confidently away by Chevelday. Levi Cable with Chenauth and Martin. Zaharchuk pokes it into the corner for Gooley. He'll play in that under-17 event as well. Martin broke it up, and Zaharchuk will backhand it out. Cable shoots it off the boards, hit the linesman. Cable, a 14-goal getter a year ago.
I think he's played on every line that Kootenay's had tonight.
Probably his coach trying to get other people going. Hart scores! Jaden Hart off the skate of Peel and in.
Bit of a tough break here for the Kootenay Ice. Hart taking the puck to the net. Peel coming across, take away the body. Unfortunately goes off his skate and in. But Landon Peel doing the right thing, taking away the space, angling him off to the far post. And unfortunately for him, as we said, puck goes off his skate and through the legs of Hoffman.
A fortuitous bounce for the Raiders, and Jaden Hart with his 7th of the year. And the Raiders in front for the first time by a pair. Hart now with 6 points in his last 7. Reinhardt. Bozon and Deschanel. Deschanel. Draisaitl knocks down Reinhardt in a battle of the highly touted ones. And here's Dakota Conroy, a pair of assists in the game, content to shoot it in. Bozon trying to shake free. Bozon. And one more time, it's offside.
Prince Albert Raiders getting that goal to go up to Mike Winther. Getting his assist. Take another look, Jaden Hart just taking the puck to the net. Through the legs of Hoffman, one he would love to have back.
Tough break for the goalie, though. You don't expect it to come off the defenseman's skate that way. The ice in a hole. For Jaden Hart's 7th. Winther and Mackenzie Johnston draw the helpers. Steenbergen tried to get loose in the slot area. Out there with Alfaro and Elena. Creating some havoc. Alfaro protects it to Landon Cross. Back into the corner for Elena. Alfaro finds Cross. Slides it to Peel. His shot wide. Steenbergen wins a loose puck battle. And Gooley takes care of it. And Vanstone just got to center before flipping it in and heading off.
The Kootenay Ice really have their work cut out for them. Prince Albert Raiders so disciplined defensively, not giving up odd man rushes. Going to need a great individual effort to get this turned around.
Structure generally not an issue for Corey Clouston's teams. Intercepted by Ryan Chenauth, sends John Martin away. Jonathan Martin. And kicked out of play by Cole Chevelday.
And Ryan McGill, the rest of his team, trying to figure out a way to get things going their way. And as we mentioned, the way that Prince Albert plays, they did it last game against the Saskatoon Blades. They got up by a couple, and they just grinded it out. Actually got a couple more goals off turnovers. Ryan McGill looking up his bench. This is where you need your number 1 line. You need your best players to step forward with a great play, big effort, and get things moving your way.
Brian McGill will spend this Christmas in Russia. He'll help Brent Sutter coach Canada's World Junior entry. Congratulations to both of them. Danilek centered it in front, broken up, and Chenault turns away. Ryan Chenault came over earlier this season in a trade from the Tri-City Americans.
And he's been good tonight. He's been real good for the Kootenay Ice.
No argument on that one. Johnston up the middle to Zaharachuk, and he'll clear it in. Jagger Dirk reverses to Landon Cross. The Raiders really making it difficult to exit.
And here's what Dave was talking about in that second period, trying to find a way to break out against the Prince Albert Raiders forecheck, especially when they have time to set up.
The 1-2-2 and deep in Kootenay's zone. Alfaro rink wide towards Elenek, and he'll chip it in to the Raider bench. Jaden Hart, 7th, has added to the Prince Albert lead. Sometimes a little luck doesn't hurt. 3-1 Raiders here in Prince Albert. Jaden Hart's 7th of the year earlier in the period as the Raiders in front, 3-1.
Take a look at how it gets to this point. Turnover, number 1 line makes no mistake, Chance Braid going to the net. He puts it just off the post. Timmy Bowes on the power play, goes net after making the pass, bit of a deflected shot right on his tape. And Josh Morrissey with a seeing eye shot with a screen with Chance Braid, puts him ahead. And Jaden Hart taking the puck to the net. Has puck luck go his way to make it 3-1.
Jaden Hart and Dylan Busenius chatting. Stayed teammates. They came over from the Medicine Hat Tigers in a trade last season. Wyatt Hoffman has held his own in this game. He's turned aside 22 of 25. And the young man at the other end, Cole Cheveldave, 21 of 22 in the Raider net.
And Wyatt Hoffman, the goaltender for the Kootenay Ice, is going to have to shut the door the rest of the way if they have any hope of getting back in this one.
The Ice have had a difficult time generating a whole bunch in the last 2 periods. Alfaro to Elenek. Chips it, not as deep as he would have liked. Steenbergen to Valiev. Renat Valiev. Good entry this time to Zabrowski. Zabrowski off the stick of Alfaro and deflects in behind the net. Peel pinching to keep it alive. Elenek protects it on the boards. Back pass to Zabrowski. Alfaro all tied up. And Mateo Gennaro with a quick little spin and turn away from pressure to exit the zone before he flips it in.
And Mateo Gennaro, a rookie still feeling his oats, but he knows he's smart enough there. Get that puck in over the red and dump it in and get a change.
Gardner's wrist shot over top of the net. Anderlich picked off by Vetero. Martin can't chip it by the 18-year-old rookie from the Czech Republic. And Hart steals again. Offside, but the Raiders will clear the zone. Jonathan Martin. Raiders so disciplined in their approach right now. Clog it up, clog it up. Draisaitl intercepts and plays it back. Anderlich and now Mackenzie Johnston. Draisaitl races in after it with those loping long strides.
He covers some ground, doesn't he?
He sure does. Look at the backtrack by the second-year forward out of Cologne, Germany. Conroy. His shot attempt is blocked, and Ryan Chenault.
You know, and that's what you want from your leadership. When your best players are working that hard and backtracking, it's contagious. Nobody's got an excuse not to work that hard.
Hard to argue that he might not be in star consideration with 2 assists and great work in all 3 zones. Chenault clears it in. Deschanel turning on the boards. Kootenay's second leading scorer with 29 points. Valiev backhands it in. And there's Morrissey to steal.
Great job defensive zone coverage, and a guy like Josh Morrissey steps up, takes the puck, escapes himself out of trouble.
Danilek steals his pass off the skate, and Troy Murray will send it out off the glass. Martin will carry in. Jonathan Martin swings to the side. His shot's big rebound, but Federal was tied up by Bucinius. And here's Danilek. Nothing fancy. Get to center, chip it deep, make your opponent come 200 feet.
And that last opportunity by John Martin, it's a 1-on-3. You battle. When you finally do get a turnover, everybody else will get on the shift.
Tim Vanstone belts Steenbergen. Ouch. Solid hit. Here's Gennaro with Braid heading to the net. Gennaro, a low shot. Now this building's buzzing after the big hit from Vanstone. And he's a solid customer. Built like a fire hydrant is Tim Vanstone. Gennaro leans on Valiev. Trying to dig it free is Gardner, who swept right in front, and Winther had his shot blocked.
And the Raiders just seem to be getting stronger and stronger, picking up the physicality on the forecheck.
They are everywhere right now. Lang throws a hit to knock Chanouth off the puck. Morrissey, great feet, good pass to Lang. He scampers in on right wing, tipped in behind the net. Conroy in good position. Braid keeps it alive, and Johnson has it off his stick and plays it back to his partner Anderlich.
Haven't seen Kootenay's number one line out on the ice for a while.
Nope.
Bit of a message.
The number one line of the Raiders is out again, though. Draisaitl, Conroy, and Braid, and they've accounted for a couple. Cheveldave dealing with the puck and the water bottle. Off Zabrowski and out to center. Valiev. Zabrowski sends it in. Zabrowski moving up as Murray had a chance. Good read by the young defenseman. Zabrowski, rink wide, finds Valiev. Valiev with one goal on the year, and Cheveldave makes the save. Once again, here's Dave Thomas.
Well, guys, you know, it's getting real physical down here, no surprise, as this has been real intense between the two benches. And the one thing that we're hearing from the Prince Albert Raiders side, and Corey Clouston is saying, guys, we don't take any shortcuts. Good, hard hockey, and he keeps reinforcing that message. The other end of that argument, though, is watch the dump-ins for the Prince Albert Raiders. To a guy like me, when you're dumping the puck and you get to the red line, you shoot it down the ice. That's all there is to it, but not so much for the PA Raiders. Corey Clouston is having his bench and having his players dump the puck consistently into the right wing corner. They've spotted something that Kootenay's trying to do in their breakout, and they're trying to exploit that. So a number of dump-ins right now to the right wing offensive corner. Continue to watch for that as this game of chess continues at ice level between Mr. McGill and Mr. Clouston.
Thank you for the insight. Much appreciated. Dave Thomas doing a great job as always. And now, some fisticuffs between two guys who were involved in a big collision. As Vanstone and Steenbergen. And Vanstone salutes on his way to the dressing room.
Well, that all stemmed from the big hit that Tim Vanstone had on Steenbergen in the neutral zone. Steenbergen going out, trying to redeem from the hit, and also saying, you know what, I'm going to do something to try and get my team going. Spark a little bit of life. Not a lot going their way. And Timmy Vanstone, he's going to come through here with a pretty good right hand that Steenbergen's going to feel.
Steenbergen threw a lot of punches, but Vanstone connected with one big one.
No, and I'll give Steenbergen credit. He came in there, he took a big hit. His team is sluggish, not a whole lot going. He's a defenseman playing forward. You know what, Coach? I want to play. I want to make a difference. I'm going to do something here. He steps up in there. He takes a right hand, but so what? You know what? He's done a lot more than a lot of his teammates have done tonight.
The coaching staff will be very happy with Jordan Steenbergen's response in trying to get his club going in this 2-goal deficit with all of a sudden only 3:35 to go in regulation time.
And it's not just a fight. You want somebody to stand up and show some light.
Maybe the best chance of the period comes off a face-off to Jonathan Martin. And Cheveldave had the answer.
Well, in an offensive zone face-off, that's what you want. You want to position your guy. You want to win it clean. Bit of a battle. Quick hands, quick shot. Better save by Cole Cheveldave.
Cheveldave's been solid. Jonathan Martin. His wrister deflected. It hit the body of Anderlecht. And Cheveldave forced to make one of his better stops.
Well, Jonathan Martin with a couple pretty good looks and a couple good shots in this shift here. With time running out, 3.5 minutes left in the third. Need to find a way. Throw pucks at the net. Deflection. Cheveldave able to stay there with it. Make the save.
No goals after 1, 2 Raiders after 2, and Jaden Hart with his 7th of the year has the lone tally here in period 3. Zabrowski facing a couple of Raiders. Draisaitl loses the handle though. Landon Peel trying to shoot it through a wall of bodies. Peel back. And we'll see at some point here down the stretch when Ryan McGill might lift his goaltender for an extra attacker. A one-hopper on Cheveldave. Morrissey, oh, is he confident. The Winnipeg Jets first rounder, and here he comes.
Just for one day, it'd be nice to be able to skate like that. Just to see what it'd feel like.
How about one for one shift?
I'll take it.
Yeah, you did just fine, my friend. Be a few people who'd like to trade you hockey resumes. Martin to the front of the net, and Gardner is there to intercept. Can't clear. Murray keeps it in. Brendan Gooley takes a hit. And Winther chips it out. Been a lot of that for the Raiders in the third. Gardner intercepts with Winther and Hart. Jaden Hart, not a lot on it. Rebound, and that's a good stop by Hoffman as he robbed Reed Gardner. And here comes Bozon. Bozon, net empty. Sharp angle shot that tested Cheveldave. And he hangs on.
Where the Raiders continuing to pressure. Odd man 3-on-2. Hoffman unable to control the rebound, and another opportunity for Gardner coming down the wing. Sticks get up. Emperor's flare. Goalie pull for the Kootenay Ice.
Shot towards that empty net. It goes wide. Luke Philp has an assist in the game. Gets to center and shoots it in. Reinhardt. Cable. And Morrissey, who's been stellar, helps his team exit the zone. And Morrissey with a goal to continue those exploits as well. Here he steps up on Bozon. Makes the pass in behind Conroy, who is offside. The Raiders are on that feet.
Dakota Conroy especially.
Guys like to add to their totals. And some pushing and shoving after the correct offside call.
Yeah. Those empty netters. Easy money, as they would say.
Yeah, they don't show up any differently.
There was a funny story about Brett Hull saying he scored all those goals, and he was bugging Wayne Gretzky. He said, yeah, but I never got empty netters. And Gretzky said, yeah, because I never trusted you out there at the end of the game.
That's great. That's a great story. Fantastic first period. And both teams really have buttoned it down since, especially the Raiders. They've basically thrown a blanket on the ice here in the third. Cable with a step on Morrissey this time. That's not easy to do. Net remains empty with his 2-goal deficit into the last minute. Jagger Dirk looking for a redirect. Luke Phillip. Phil to Cable. In front, wide open, Bozon backhander. He scores! And don't go away quite yet. It's 3-2.
Some real good work with the goalie, pulled outnumbering, out battling behind the PA Raiders net. Tim Bozon, who's got one already tonight. He gets his second, knowing where to go, staying in front of that, but a real good battle by Levi Cable, who's probably been Kootenay's most consistent player all night. Wins the battle, gets the puck out from his backhand right to the forehand of Bozon, and he's able to find a way by Cheveldae.
37 seconds to go, and now the Ice are within one. Net remains empty. Cleared to an open wing. Deschanel beats Perreault to it. Now Philp clears it in. Cheveldae rings it off the glass. Reinhardt awaits. Philp turns and shoots it off Busenius and out of play. And remember, with 13.8 to go, both teams have already used their timeout.
And this is where you have to have your face-off plays you went over in practice. You don't have time to pull the guys in and go over the whiteboard. Players have to take ownership, organize themselves, and position themselves for the face-off.
Reinhardt and Draisaitl, the two highly touted prospects for the upcoming draft. Tie draw. Kootenay controls. Reinhardt in the slot. Phil, diving play by Daniluk that should end it. Perreault with an empty net. The buzzer goes, and the Prince Albert Raiders hang on for a 3-2 win to tie the season series between these two teams at 1 game apiece.
Well, in the third period with the Prince Albert Raiders, you seem to get stronger and stronger and build momentum. Kootenay able to come back and get one, and a great defensive play, as of many were that period by Daniluk off that last face-off play. Great job of the Prince Albert Raiders. That's a win. Corey Clueston and the coaching staff have to be very happy with it. Big win at home ice for the Prince Albert Raiders.
The Raiders improve their record to 13-8-2. Kootenay drops to 11-10-2. And Cole Cheveldae, one of the key figures in this one, as he turned aside 28 of 30 Kootenay shots.
Didn't have to make a lot of saves in the third period, but did a great job.
Raiders 3, Ice 2. We'll be back with more from the Art Hauser Center, our post-game show when we return.
Back at Art Hauser Center, the Prince Albert Raiders score a big 3-2 victory over the Kootenay Ice tonight. Leon Draisaitl, a big part of that for the Raiders. Tell me about this hockey game. It was a real clear effort, I thought, by your team to play a defensive game, but to capitalize on opportunities when they came up.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's we struggled a little bit in our defensive zone, and we worked on it a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I think we improved a lot. And another point is for sure capitalizing on scoring chances, and I think the whole team did a really good job tonight.
Tell me how important or what changes when you play in this building, because the road record isn't where you want it to be at yet, but you've had lots of success here.
Yeah, obviously the fans. I mean, the crowd's been really, really well this year, and they get into the game and they just get under your skin, and you just want to work your
tail off. That's the way we word that here. Leon, before we let you run, the other question is that tonight was a big opportunity for you to get gain some more distance and put some space between yourselves and Kootenay. Were you even thinking about that, though, or is it still at a point in the season where you've got to worry about what you're doing first?
No, I mean, it's about the team. It's not about myself. I mean, sounds sounds stupid, but your own success comes from the team success, and I mean, the whole team has been played really, really well at the last couple of games, and yeah, we won twice in a row now, and it's definitely a big win for us because we are pretty close with Kootenay.
Leon, thanks so much for this. Appreciate your time. Keep working your tail off all season.
Thanks a lot.
Leon Draisaitl, the Prince Albert Raiders, they score a 3-2 victory over Kootenay tonight here at Art Hauser Center as we once again return you to WHL Central and Andy Neal. Andy?
All right, thanks very much, Dave. Here are the Cal Tire 3-star selections from tonight. Leon Draisaitl, strong again, the number 1 star for the Prince Albert Raiders. Dakota Conroy, the 2nd star, and Josh Morrissey with a big goal late in the 2nd period. The 3rd star tonight on the blue line for the Raiders, who have now won back-to-back games after their win over Saskatoon Tuesday, and they're getting set for Swift Current on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Kootenay is in Saskatoon tomorrow night. We'll take a quick time out and show you the out-of-town story when we return. 11 Machinery, WHL on Shaw with the Raiders, a 3-2 winner over Kootenay tonight. Friday night in the Western Hockey League with 8 other games going on. The Brandon Wheat Kings are now up 5-2 on the Saskatoon Blades. The Wheat Kings going for their 3rd straight win. They're now in the 3rd. Tim McGauley's got a couple in that one for Brandon. Meanwhile, the Swift Current Broncos are going for a 10th straight win tonight, trying to stay 5 up on the Raiders in the East Division. And Graham Black and Jay Merkley responding after Greg Chase made a 1-0 for Calgary, so 2-1 for Swift Current. At the Saddle Dome, Red Deer Rebels with a 3-1 lead. They're in the 2nd period against the Moose Jaw Warriors. Rebels are going for their 3rd straight win. Seattle's taking a 1-0 lead against Victoria. They just scored from Brandon Truk, his 6th of the season. So Seattle in the 1st of 2 in Victoria with a 1-0 lead. Meanwhile, the Regina Pats going for their 5th win in 6 and 3rd win out of 4 in the States. They're taking on the Tri-City Americans in Kennewick, Washington, scoreless in the 1st. I can tell you Zach Puchero has scored for Prince George. They're up in Spokane with his 10th, 1-0 against the Chiefs. Vancouver Giants and Hunter Shinkarik and the Medicine Hat Tigers going toe-to-toe. They're in the 1st at the Pacific Coliseum, scoreless right now. Portland Winterhawks going for a 3rd straight win against the Everett Silvertips. Silvertips have points in 6 in a row as they meet in a big U.S. Division battle in Everett, Washington tonight. Jaden Hart, 7th of the season, the game winner, and the Prince Albert Raiders not long after Mike Badano was scoring a ton of goals. They get 3 tonight on Kootenay and win it 3-2 here on 11 Machinery. WHL on Shaw. Back to wrap after the break. And the Kootenay Ice have had close battles in another one this evening. A 3-2 win for the Raiders, their 13th victory of the season as they get set for a big dance against Swift Current on Wednesday here at the Art Hauser Center. Kootenay's on the road in Saskatoon tomorrow. We're back on the road in Kelowna next week for an all-BC Division showdown with the Victoria Royals and the Rockets doing battle starting at 7 o'clock Pacific time at Prospera Place in Kelowna. For Peter Labardius, Jeff Odgers, Dave Thomas, and the rest of the WHL on Shaw crew, I'm Andy Neal. Thanks so much for watching this evening from Prince Albert. We'll talk to you again next week in the Okanagan.